Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Dr. Carson and Marion Murray Community Center here in Spring Hill, Nova Scotia for this Nova Scotia U15 Major League action between the visiting Valley Wildcats in their white, red, and blue jerseys just on your screen there now, and in their new tarps. The home team here, the Turo Bearcats, in their fresh red and whites. The Valley 2-2-0-1, 7th place so far in the early season, and Turo 2-3. Sitting in 9th. Both these teams looking to solidify a win here and get into the win column. My name, Matt Dudelay for High Button Sports. We thank you for tuning in. 15 minutes up on the board. Starting goaltenders for the Bearcats, number 37, Blake Butcher. And for the Valley Wildcats, number 1, Jonah Harvey. Refs at center ice. Puck is down, and we're ready to go here in Spring Hill. McLaughlin dumps it in. Back forward is McNutt. Stops up. Good pressure here early from the Wildcats. Gallant in on the forecheck. Forces McNutt up the right side. Back to the left side point. Held in, but only for a moment as it gets chipped back down the ice. And that'll get in on Jonah Harvey right away here. And he will cover it up with a red jersey hot on the scene. So face off to the right side of Harvey. One clean lane, it's going to go all the way down the ice. Icing obviously waved off. Reverse play back up the right side. Stanfield chips it through the middle for Scott, unable to connect as it stays inside the zone. Centering pass now, rolls, shot there, kicked aside by Butcher. Good shot for a rebound, not sure if that's where he was heading. Now another shot there, that one's blocked. And almost off to the races there. We're the Bearcats, but it's poked off the stick now as Scott picks it up. Stanfield's going to go up the strong side. As Martin picks it up here for the Wildcats. Tries to center, off a stick. Scott goes for the hit, puck slides through. It's going to be dumped in just inside the blue line. Cross ice pass for Keating. Keating through the middle of the ice for Rude. Rude stepping in, had it poked off his stick, and he's going to take the first penalty of the game here once the Valley touches up. My guess is a cross-checking penalty. Looks like he called it head contact. So Rude will get the gate. Coach is going to immediately ask for an explanation. So it's a 2-minute, not a 4. Gives him a solid there. 13:46 left to go. The first power play is going to go to the hometown Bearcats here. McDonald on the draw. Push to the right side. Clough off the ensuing face-off, moves it back to the point. Scott on the left side. He'll move it back to the middle. Lockyer in the middle of the ice at the blue line. Shot through a crowd. Nobody saw it, but it goes wide. Scott collects the rebound, cycles it down deep. Holman working out of the corner. He'll move it up top. Nice little chip pass back to him. Give and go. An opportunity for a shot there. That one was blocked. That one hit on the laces there, and you'll feel that one later on. Maybe not necessarily right now, but for sure tomorrow. That shot from Scott is blocked. Back over to the right side. Another opportunity for a shot there. Laser goes well high and wide. And that'll do the job for the Wildcats here. Little power play dump out. So now they're going to get set up in behind their own goal. Moves it up to the left side. Scott picks it up here as he exits the zone, makes his way through center ice. Traffic jam there on the left side, but he's able to get through it as he drops it back to the blue line, and that one's going to come just outside, so it'll be whistled dead. Very different lighting here, the Dr. Carson and Marion Murray Center, Community Center rather. Try and say that quick. So 59 seconds left to go. We had Rolls down there on the left side of your screen, exiting the game, not sure for what. But somebody will find out at some point here. Now we're going to have another whistle. And the door wasn't quite shut. Definitely don't want to deal with that. So we'll go right back where we started here, just outside the Wildcats blue line. 54 seconds left to go now here in the man advantage. Wildcats win the face-off, and they're going to clear the length of the ice, full 200. Butcher out to play it, has trouble with it, but his team back to collect. Reynolds is going to swing on the left side, looking for a pass. As McKenzie steps out from behind his own goal. He's going to carry it all the way. Ripley. He's going to work across the blue line now. Drops it there. Good pressure from the Wildcats here shorthanded. Is going to force Turo to dump. And back around. Ripley fires it in deep. Wildcats get there first, but good second effort here from the Bearcats is going to get them position back. Poked once again. Around the left side. McKenzie. Chips it in behind the goal. Bartow Kelly on it. It's McKay as well, so 3 seconds left to go here in the penalty to Rude. And the Wildcats are back the other way. Tommy Ferguson all alone down the right side. He's got Rude joining late from the box, and not sure if he knew he was there, but Ferguson now will dump it in deep, and Rude will head for a change. McLaughlin in on the forecheck. Cut back move goes back in behind the goal. He's going to pick the puck back up. Reynolds on him. Centering pass. McGuire couldn't get it to his stick to get a shot off. Now is Reynolds. Tries to sneak around Gallant, but Gallant steals that. Down low. Looking for a centering pass. They get it. Martin in behind the goal. Backhanded up to the point for Diebel. Diebel on the right side. Back down. Good puck support there from Martin as he followed up. McGuire takes a bump. Reynolds able to find that loose puck. He turns it over. Behind the goal. Outlet pass. Nobody home there. Frizzell on the far side of the ice. Backdoor pass. McGuire couldn't handle. Now he's going to carry it around. Back up top once again. Puck sliding around quite a bit here. Now is a shot. Didn't quite make its way to the net. Now Diebel once again. He'll take a bump there from Ripley. Now that puck will exit the zone. Diebel going to head back for it. As well as McLaughlin as he gets back there first here for the Wildcats. Too many cats. McLaughlin makes his way through center ice. Carries it in, still on it. All the way around to the far side. Keating looking to hold the line. Successful in doing so as the puck goes low. Gallant ran into McNutt. Considerable size difference. Ferguson runs into his man. Churro unable to get out of their zone here. The Wildcats bus legs not obviously in effect here. It's good pressure there. Puck will come outside the zone again, so the Wildcats will have to re-rack here in the neutral zone, and they'll do so now. Ferguson on the forecheck. Puck comes out to center ice. Keating is going to gain the red line. He's just going to dump it back in. Tucks under a check there, but forgot to take the puck. Lonergan scored his first goal last week in a backdoor chance, and then a bat out of the air. No high stick, but a good chance there. Might have been a double down the right field line. Chipped in deep. McNutt lays the body. McDonald in behind the goal. Centering pass goes the length of the ice. So it'll go all the way down onto the goaltender, Harvey. He's going to leave it there. Or his D-man, Fowler. Takes a bump, but the puck will exit the zone. Bearcats collect, and they're just going to fire it in deep. They're going to finish up a change. Fowler stopped up, gets around the first forechecker, moves it up the right side for Robichaud. Robichaud cross ice, now into the middle. Gallant on the stick, tries to poke it underneath the legs of the Truro defender. And now Lockyer collects him behind his own goal. He's going to hit the getaway sticks here as he gets around Gallant. He'll carry it through the ice. Lockyer still with it. Jersey wagging in the wind. Webb tries to get it towards the goal. Had it blocked by Gallant, comes back to the point and not out. As Webb's going to rip it in deep as he covered back there for Lockyer. Now he's going to jump back into the play. Turnover there on a fanned pass opportunity. Scott into the crease. They whack at it. Now it's going to be poked free. And that's going to be no icing, says the official. So Butcher out to play it here as he leaves it for Lockyer. Merriweather swoops in front of his own net. Going to turn on the right side. Great job there by Howard. Don't have to absolutely barrel the guy, just have to separate him from the puck, and Howard did a good job there. So force the Bearcats back in their own zone once again. Stretch pass through the middle of the ice. That one's going to go the length. And no ice on the play as it hit a few bodies on the way through, so Webb able to get there first here for the Bearcats. Back up top, Lex McKenzie shot towards the goal. That was blocked. He's going to step back up and holds the line for another moment. Good lead pass up the right side for Ferguson. Ferguson, the shot there, Butcher the save. The rebound bounces up over the net. Merriweather trying to collect, but it's Ferguson back on it. Going to pull it into the middle, trying to use his reach to his advantage, but it's back up the right side. Now is Webb in transition. Fires that towards a goal, blockered away by Harvey. And now Ripley able to hold it. Webb, at the end of a long shift, is going to head back to the bench. The Bearcats have the long offensive change here. Now's a nice move for Zell down the right side. He's going to have a step into the middle, and Clough had his stick tied up. Smart defensive play down there from the Wildcats defender. Chip over to the right side. McGuire spins off for Zell. Glassing out. McNutt now. He's going to fire towards the Wildcats end zone. 7 minutes, 5 seconds left to go here in the first. Martin tried to make a move at center ice. Coach isn't going to like that one as it goes back down inside the defensive blue line. And now they'll get the line and get it in deep. Martin in on the forechecks. He runs into McNutt. Fanned on the clearing attempt. Back to the left point. That's not, oh, the official says it came out. Looked pretty good from here. Completely two different eyesights, so we'll go with the official on this one. Bearcats trying to go back the other way. Good job at the defensive blue line here from the Wildcats stepping up, and they're forcing the Bearcats to dump. It's Reynolds now in on the forecheck. Centering pass, McDonald trying to find Holman in the high slot. Comes back to the right point, shot there. Was fanned on, hit Reynolds in the back of the legs. So puck bounces free. Back the other way now, go the Wildcats. Robichaud cuts into the middle, gets around two defenders. Turnaround shot there, tried to catch Butcher going back the other way, but he stops it, and the puck comes free. Bearcats on the breakout. Lockyer drops it back. It's McDonald, the captain this year for the Bearcats, is able to get the red line. He's going to get it in deep. Harvey swipes it away there as McDonald with a full head of steam coming into the net zone area. And around the far side. Merriweather will pinch. He's going to get there first. Good decision made. It's locked up in behind the goal now. Peeled over the crowd. That was Ferguson. Good pushback here from the Bearcats. A lot of defensive zone time here in the first period, but when they get their chances, they're able to hem them in. Now as Galant goes back the other way, trying to sell the pass. Little drag and shoot. Kind of fanned on it, but the puck will get in behind the net. Lockyer goes for the hit. It's Reynolds now, patiently waiting for his options to open up as Merriweather. As you see there on your screen, those rink fries smell pretty good here. One of the best canteens in Nova Scotia, if you ask me. You have to take my word for it, or come on down and check it out for yourself. It's Holman now, 1-on-5, able to maintain possession. Turns, fires it across the ice, and a save made. Long sequence there without a whistle. Good back and forth play from both these teams. So we'll have a D-zone face-off here for the Wildcats. It's going to come to the blocker side of Harvey. Scott and Martin on the draw. Martin able to win it cleanly. Good release there from Rude. He ate ice perfectly now as his centering pass off the stick and down inside the Bearcat zone. McKenzie tripped up or blew a tire. Either way, down he goes. So now McEachran runs into a man, but they both stand each other up. No harm done. Back to the left point. Shot there towards the goal. That one goes wide. Rude now at the right point. Didn't have a lane to the net, so he fires it in deep. Centering pass. Now it's going to get in front of the goal. Nice lead pass up there for Webb. Webb will gain the red line. He's going to chip it in. He bounces off two defenders there. So get in. Stopping on pucks there. No big turns. As good collision, but Bearcats have to re-rack out here in the neutral zone. They're just going to fire it back down inside the zone. McKay through the middle. Ferguson got a stick on it. Icing waved off, and he's going to get in there. Butcher out to play it dangerously. It works around to the far corner. Outlet pass left side through the middle. Clough couldn't handle the pass. Now he's going to strip a man. 2-on-1 now here for the Bearcats. Clough, left side saucer pass into the middle for Frizzell. Looked pretty. They couldn't quite connect. This has got to be one of the top units there for the Bearcats. As Ferguson. He's going to make his way up ice. Couldn't get by the official. Pretty good little defensive play there as Miller joins the party. Frizzell moves it back from Merriweather. Ferguson trying to fight through a crowd here. Now he's going to turn and try and dump it in the Bearcat zone. Chipped off the wall. Diebel collects. As that's going to be dumped back in by Ferguson. Little ping pong here through the neutral zone. Miller. Chipped over to the right side. Frizzell, red line deep and dumps himself. And he'll head for a change. So it's going to be rimmed around to the far side. Will it have enough for icing? No, it will not, as the Bearcats were completing a change defensively. McKenzie, hard time with it, takes a bump. Holman works it off the wall. Holman, good head of steam here. He went 0 to 100 pretty quickly there. That first step. So he's just going to bounce off his defenders. We approach the 2-minute mark here. Nice move into the front. Couldn't get it to go to get a chance as the Wildcats back here in transition. Martin all by himself. He's got a man coming in late here as the puck bounces into the high slot. Good job there. No need to panic and fire that out into the high slot. Get it into an area where you can win a puck race. It's Clough. And that's going to be offside by a good 2 or 3 feet at least. So 2 minutes, 11 seconds left to go here. Still waiting on our first goal. No shots to speak of here so far on the board. There's obviously been shots in the game, just none recorded. Chipped off the wall. McNutt's going to take that extra step, and he's going to fire it in deep. Small detail of the game that goes a long way. Close game like this, you don't want to put yourself on a defensive zone face-off if you don't have to. Wildcats trying to work it out of the zone. One thing that should be mentioned here, no Trip Greeno for the Wildcats. Not sure what's going on with him, but one of the top D-men in the league, as far as I see. Wildcats turn it over just inside the blue line. Backdoor pass. Good job defensively down there. So they tie up a stick without taking a penalty, and that'll eliminate that scoring chance. So that one's going to be ripped down the length of the ice, and that's going to be an icing charge here to the Bearcats with 1:25 left to go here in the first. So it'll come to the left side now of Blake Butcher. Faceoff's down. Chipped inside the zone. Martin on it. They're getting first to pucks here, the Wildcats. And now look at McDonald go. He's got an extra step in his gear this year. Opportunity shot there. Nice save for a rebound. Harvey kicked it out. Now the Wildcats are going to pick it up, and they're going to head back up the other way. Dumped into the zone. Final minute to play here in the first period. McLaughlin, right point. He'll take a bump there from McDonald, but the puck will get in deep. Lane to the net, trying to go back door. Butcher sprawling out, and now we're going to have just the old one-handed hack. Used to be my specialty back in the day. Good job by the officials to get in there quickly. So 50.8 seconds. Our scoreboard rounds up. Not the greatest at math, but that one makes sense. So it'll be Ferguson and Scott on the draw here. Scott coming up with this one as it's worked in behind the goal. Merriweather couldn't handle on the bank pass. Scott trying to chip it out. Ferguson turns it over. Nice move, gets around the first defender. Reynolds. Ferguson went for the shot there, but he had to wait for the puck to get there, and it didn't quite make it. Good job there, not to force a shot through into some shin pads as they work it in low. Wildcats able to get possession there as Lonergan scored his first U15 goal last weekend. And he actually had 2 in the game. And a bunch of firsts for the Wildcats last 2 weeks. Nice feed there across ice for Reynolds. Opportunity, drag shot there. 6 seconds left to go. Webb dumps it in deep. Maybe one last chance here in front. Good job by Gallant, and that's going to do it here. For the first 15 minutes, no score after the 1 period of play. We'll be right back with the second period. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back inside the Dr. Carson and Marion Murray Community Center for second period action between the Turo Bearcats and the Bage Valley Wildcats. No score after the first 15. Both teams back at center ice. The puck is down, and we are underway here in the second period. Push through the middle now. Clough with a chance. He stops up, waits for support, tries to center a pass, and it was into some skates. Maybe just a split second longer, and he would have got his guys in position here. As down the left side goes Rude. Into the middle. Poked it for Robichaud. Robichaud takes a bump down there. The puck comes all the way back to the point. Wildcats unable to hold as they were completing a change early on here. Wildcats unable to touch up as they had to regroup in the neutral zone here. McKay cross for his partner Fowler. Fowler, cross ice pass onto the stick of Rude for a moment, enough to tip it inside and get rid of the icing. Okay, good support by Fowler. Up the right side, McGuire couldn't get it deep. Clough went for the huge hit, took the worst of it. As Rude, cross corner dump. Martin will head for a change. McGuire in on the forecheck. Haven't seen Rolls since he left in the first period as the Wildcats collect in their own zone. Walked in behind. Keating. No look pass, but goes right to the Bearcats. Ferguson now. He's going to carry the rush here. Just inside the line now. The Wildcats trying to stay on side, and they will. It's Howard. Weekly tries to dump that one in. Good job of the Bearcats there. Didn't have a direct lane, so they go up and over. Transition back the other way. Howard looking for that loose puck. Once again, just pumping it back and forth here. Holman. McGuire on him, but it's Holman trying to escape. Couldn't get by the second forechecker. Howard now centering pass. Ferguson shot there, fanned on it. And now McDonald's going to have a step here. He's just going to chip it to some ice. Now, no penalty there, so I guess you can call that about as good as defensive play as you can get. Didn't quite impede him. Was able to allow McDonald to keep his feet moving, but in the meantime, the puck will go back deep. Behind his own goal now. Not quite behind his own goal. McGuire, pass through the middle. Got lucky that Ferguson was coming through underneath for support. Down the left side, Ferguson through the screen, shot there, and Butcher will make the save. And he'll cover it up. Good job by Butcher there. F2 driving that back post was still quite a ways out, so he was able to get out at the top of the crease and challenge that shooter, and Ferguson did a good job using the defenseman as a screen, but Butcher coming up with the big save. Face off, push to the left side. Lonergan ties up there with Lockyer. Webb fires it through the middle of the ice. Looking to find Ripley, but it was turned over as the Wildcats rip it back down inside the zone. And all the way around, poked into the middle. Scott tries to chip it in behind, and he does, and they call it offside on the play. Great feed, just a second late. And that's one of those plays where you don't have a direct lane, but if you can get it into an area and allow your teammate to potentially win a puck race, and can kind of calculate on the fly there the percentage and who the skater is, of course. They almost complete that play. Would have been one of the nicer passes I've seen this year for sure, but offside on the play. So nothing will come of it. Sidney able to get a stick on that. Ripley circling in the corner. Pinned up against the far wall. Peeled out of the crowd now. Lonergan couldn't hang on to it. Now Lockyer tries to corral it. Now we're going to have a break back the other way as Gallant for Lonergan on the left side. Lockyer, great defensive play and a great back check there. Martin ran into Webb. Gallant on it. He's going to protect the puck there, but Lockyer able to push him outside the zone. So player and puck coming outside the blue line. And now Lockyer is going to pick it up here in transition once again. Gets around Gallant. In over the blue line, tries to pull. Gallant got him back though as he poked it off the stick. McNutt fired it in deep. Harvey having to be careful as he read that one. Delayed offside here on the Bearcats. as that'll give Diebel some time to exit the zone. He's just going to one-hand try and dump that in. Cross-ice pass. Doesn't come outside the zone as McKay picks it up on the left point. Cycles it in deep. McKenzie. Backhands up the right side. Reynolds. And that one's going to be ripped the length of the ice, and it will have enough for icing, so we'll have a stoppage of play. 15:41 left to go here in this second period. Now they have the shots up, 7-2. That seems like maybe more of the second period total. 7-5, sorry. I did preface the whole thing telling you how I wasn't great at math or numbers. Bearcats take the draw. Reynolds. Chip that off the wall. Good area pass there as Clough trying to get free. That was Ferguson back. Pretty big kid for that age. Probably twice the size of me at this point already. And probably not the end for him now, as that stretch pass is going to be from the wrong side of the red line, and that's going to be an icing charge here to the Wildcats. Face off to the right side of Harvey. Liney wasted no time. As soon as the centermen get in there, down it goes. And we're going to have another whistle here, and we're going to go right back where we started. Face off to the right side of Harvey. Puck is down. Collected off the draw by the Bearcats. Couldn't make a move. Now Rude pushes it to himself. In all alone. Rude against Butcher. Shot. He scores. And the Wildcats break the deadlock. On a good flash of speed there from Rude. He knew he wasn't going to win that race by stick handling, so he pushes it ahead. And the Wildcats strike first here in Spring Hill. Just a good first step there from Rude. Got in behind and beats Butcher on the low blocker side. So 1-0 Wildcats, and away we go at center ice. A back and forth game. It was only a matter of time before somebody struck. It's Webb carries it in over the line. Drops it back for Scott. Scott shot there. Harvey the save. The rebound was right there, but a good defensive play in front by Jack McGuire to tie up a stick. A lot of the times you're not looking for the puck, you're just looking for the man, as that's not going to quite have enough for icing. Lockyer, cutback move, gets around Howard. Now he's going to chip it free, but it's going to be turned over at the blue line. Fowler collects and fires it in deep. McGuire looking for the puck. Through the middle. Webb kind of knocked it down, but I think he helped the Wildcats out there. As Howard and Webb get tangled up. Offside waved off. Howard in over the left side. Opportunity shot there. Good shot on. And it's a nice save by Butcher following up after the goal. 14 minutes, 12 seconds left to go. One goal on the board to speak of off the stick of Benjamin Rude. Face off one quickly. McLaughlin shot there. That was blocked by McKenzie. I'll tell you what, these Turo Bearcat, I'm a big fan of these jerseys with the white helmets. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Always been a big jersey and gear guy since I can remember. Ripley now with the outlet pass, rolled off his stick, and it's going to be dumped back in. And we're going to have a holding the stick penalty, according to the official. So that's going to go to number 12, Jesse Gallant, as he'll get the sin bin call here. And now the Bearcats are going to go on the power play. We're going to switch sides here. We're going to go to the glove side of Harvey now. Puck is down. Set up here. Lockyer over to the right side. Shot there. Tip. That one goes wide. Rimmed around to the far side. Into the corner it goes. Chipped off the wall. Back out front now, McDonald settling it down, trying to get back set up. He's going to go backdoor. Great feed. Opportunity shot there. Harvey right out to challenge, and he makes a good save. Wildcats trying to get that puck back here, but it's good puck pursuit here from the Bearcats. And now the whistle's going to go as that one was lodged up for too long, says the official. So 1:23 left to go in the power play, 13-11 left here in the second period. High Button Sports, Nova Scotia U15 Major Hockey League action. The final game of the weekend here for all teams and us here at High Button Sports. So these two teams clash here, and I think Turo's back here next weekend. They do draw players from this area, so trying to get games in best they can. Normal home games are at the rec center there in Truro, the Rath Eastland Community Center. Now it's a good seam pass for Lockyer. Shot there, nice calm save there from Harvey. So the Wildcats try and clear, but it's held inside the zone. Back to the point, McDonald fires a laser pass too far ahead for Lockyer. Now Holman trying to find it. McDonald across in support. He'll fire to the left side. Scott stops up. He's going to fire it back down low. Cut back move, falls though. Is Clough. Over to the right side. McDonald slides it in behind. Back in behind the net once again. Holman shakes off a defender. 30 seconds left to go here in the man advantage. And behind the goal. That was Miller behind the net, not Clough. McDonald, good hard pass. Shot there, that was blocked. Back up top, Lockyer, one touch across from McDonald. He's going to have some space to walk in. He does, shot there on the blocker side, stopped by Harvey. Chipped off the wall, and now that will get outside and all the way down the ice, and that'll kill off the precious seconds here as 5 seconds left to go in the Gallant penalty as he's on his feet and ready to return. And now Lockyer, back to even strength. Way he goes in over the line. He takes a bump there, and now Howard is going to get the cross check back, and Lockyer is going to be penalized for the retaliation there. So 2 minutes for cross checking. I think anybody who saw that would have guessed that once the arm went up. So now the Wildcats are going to have a chance to extend their lead. They go to the power play here as the faceoff's going to come over to the left side of Butcher. Ferguson trying to sneak one through off the faceoff, but that one's going to be poked all the way down the ice. Harvey look to play it. Nice to have the active goaltender back there, and that's basically a third defenseman. Ferguson had it poked off his stick. Howard tried to return the favor, and now it's going to be dumped but not out. Good puck race there as the Wildcats able to maintain the zone. Chipped around the wall. Good poke. Now Clough's going to go back the other way. He's got a one-on-one against McKay. Clough just shoots one, and Harvey will catch it, and he will hang on. Wildcats will settle for a defensive zone face-off here. Jonah Harvey been sharp in this one. He's faced a couple of real close point-blank shots. Face-off to the right side of Harvey. Cleanly won by the Bearcats and just chipped over to the left side. Behind his own net. Nice feed right through the middle of the ice. Robichaud in good support as he's going to walk over the blue line. He's going to try and set it up. Good job to slow it down. He'll move it back up to the point. Good hard pass there. Hooked on the right side. Back for Robichaud. Robichaud back across. Cross for Fowler on the left side point. Seam pass. One-time chance there. Fanned on it. Good play there. You know, that's one the Wildcats have been working on, and that's the play everybody looks for. There's that cross seam backdoor pass, and when you see it, your eyes light up. As now McDonald trying to get free. Just going to muscle his way through Fowler. He's going to continue on with it, though. Right side shot there. Bounces it in front on the rebound, and close short-handed chance there for the Bearcats. Fowler, cross ice. And over the line go the Wildcats. McGuire drops it. Lonergan up to the right side. He's going to fire it back the other way, and 2 Wildcats there, but nobody can come up with it. It's Fowler now. Cross ice pass. Lonergan. He takes a bump from McDonald. 10 seconds left to go in the man advantage. Not a whole lot here from the Wildcats. The Bearcats with a real strong kill here in this one. So it's going to go through the middle. Couldn't connect. And now it's going to be sent the length of the ice, and that'll kill off the rest of it here. So Bearcats are going to get on it first. Scott cycles it down low. Miller takes a bump there. So they battle away for it down there on the right side of your screen. Scott poked it out front into the crease there. Backhand chance there. Miller on the spin around, and the save made by Harvey as the net comes off the pegs. But a good display of lateral movement there from Jonah Harvey as he pushed off that right foot. He got across, and he looks like he actually might be laboring here a little bit. He's going to go for a quick skate. As we'll line up for a face-off here on the glove side. Scott, Webb, Miller for the Bearcats. And it's going to be Martin, Howard, and Gallant for the Wildcats. Martin is going to get leaned on by Scott as he continues on into the corner on that puck. Comes all the way back up to the point. McLaughlin, it's a bouncing puck, and he tried to hit it on the 1T. Wasn't able to get any meat on it. Martin, quick turnaround shot there. Good job by Butcher with the twig as he knocks that one up and out into the netting. That's one of those skill sets you learn as a young netminder. Face off to the left side of Butcher now. Ferguson and Clough on the draw. One cleanly, but outside the zone. Rude, the goal scorer here. Looking to get freed up. And now the Bearcats are going to send that the length of the ice. Going to try and win a foot race here, but it's going to get down for icing as the foot race ensued. So pretty cool little day of hockey here in Spring Hill when I arrived at the arena about, I'll say, 3 o'clock-ish time. The Valley Jets and the Turo Bearcats U13 AAAs were going at it, and that immediately followed by the U15 version of both those teams. And then I'm told by my neighbor, actually, who was here, that they are taking the kids to the U17 World Challenge in Truro on the way home. It's perfect timing, a day full of hockey, and if I was a 12, 11, 13, 14-year-old kid, hell, even right now, I would take that as a day. So that's what it's all about, hockey. The memories now. Rude in all alone once again, had it poked off his stick. Right back to gameplay we go. Rude once again. Dipsy doodling his way through the zone. Another shot there is Rude. A little pep in his step here today. Ferguson used his rump to protect the puck. Now he's going to peel it out of the corner. Cutback move. Shot there. That one goes high and off the glass. McKay dumps it in deep. Worked around. Underneath 8 minutes to go. Good press here. Reffy showing off the quickness down there as he bent that back in to get out of the way of that puck now, as the puck will stay inside the zone though. Good sustained pressure once again. Bartow Kelly pokes it into the middle of the ice. Tripped up the right side. Clough trying to get free. He's going to try and get around McKay, and he will get there first. Centering pass out front for Reynolds, picked off along the way. Reynolds spin around as he holds the line. Down low for Clough. Clough is going to carry it in deep. Can't get it off that bottom stanchion there. Tricky spot to get when you get that puck up on its side. It's now a pass in behind the net that was intended for it anyways. Goes off the side of the goal. And now McGuire is going to go back the other way. McGuire being pressed there by Frizzell. Merriweather. Cross for Lockyer. Frizzell trying to center it. Now it's just going to go up and off the glass. And Bearcats are going to settle for defensive zone face-off here as they're going to head back down to their zone. So 6:47 left to go here in the second period before we head to the intermission. Martin off the draw, just fires it towards the goal. The corner. Bearcats gonna fire that the length of the ice. I don't think that's gonna have enough for icing. It doesn't matter anyways because McDonald's gonna beat everybody up the ice. And I watched him last year. He looks like a completely different man this season. Looks like he added a few inches and pounds and definitely a few miles per hour on those skates. Certainly a good skill set to have. It's Lockyer. Quick cutback move towards a goal as Harvey finds it through a crowd, and now we're going to have some extra pushing and shoving in front of the goal. Doesn't look like anything's going to come of it. Face off to the left side of Harvey. Decent crowd on hand here in Spring Hill. A lot of the family members seem to have made the trip. Shot towards the goal, tip towards McDonald, trying to find it in a crowd. Back to the point, shot. That one was blocked and it goes wide. Good outlet pass there as Gallant finds Howard in the middle there, and McKenzie got in the lane. Everyone wanted the knee call there, but now Howard's going to go back at McDonald. Temper's starting to flare a little bit here. It's going to be dumped over to the right side. Ferguson pressed off the puck by McKenzie. Worked into the corner. Trying to go back the other way, and now they will. 2-on-1 forming here as Ferguson blows a tire. Shot there from Stanfield, nowhere near the goal. So it goes up and over. Holman will cycle it down low, though. As Stanfield steps in, he's going to try and cycle it, but he fanned on it. Ferguson cuts back, but he ran into two Bearcats, but got the puck through the crowd. For the big hit over there, Gallant sidesteps him. And now all kinds of bodies being tossed around. And that's going to get down onto Butcher, and he's going to hang on with one Wildcats jersey on the doorstep. So 5 minutes, 5 seconds remaining here in the second frame. Somebody forgot to come off on the line change, so that's going to bring in a new center for the Bearcats here. Bearcats collect off the draw. Round for Miller. Into the middle of the ice. Trying to get a shot off here. Underneath 5 minutes to go here in the second period. Rip back down inside the zone. It'll make its way to the top of the circles, and now it'll get by Lockyer as he heads back for it. Wildcats had to regroup, so that'll give Bearcats plenty of time to exit the zone here. Nice move. Lockyer walks in. Shot there. Harvey the save, and very smooth, calm, and collected goaltender for a first year down there for sure. Square to the puck. Not a whole lot of over-moving, I guess, or overreacting you could call it. Nice play there from McGuire off the wall. Fantastic feed up the left side there. Good clean breakout from the Wildcats, and that's just knowing exactly where your teammates are on the half wall there, and that's the name of the game when you're a winger. That centering pass will exit the zone. Wildcats F3 had started to change. Cross-ice pass. Ferguson had it poked off his stick now as Keating turns around. He's going to take a bump there from Webb, and that was a bit of a dangerous play with that gate just about to be open. Ferguson picked it up. Off the sidewall, shot there, save made by Butcher. Rebounds loose in the high slot, picked up Robichaud. Another save, Butcher, as he kicked out the right pad there. Big save there for the Bearcats netminder. It's Ripley. Heads up over there on the bench as it gets deflected up and out of play. As the whistle goes now. 3:38 left to go here in the second. A 1-0 lead for the Wildcats. The battle of the Kitties here today. Face-off procedure there from the Wildcats. They get it around, but they don't get it out. So Wadden holds the line. Frizzell, cross-ice pass. Shot coming, tipped, so that goes wide. It's Lonergan now. Moves it up the left side for Ferguson. Ferguson tries to barrel through Wadden. Frizzell picks that puck up close. Tried to tip it through the middle there for Ripley, but it's going to go down onto Harvey now, and he's not going to take any chances with Bearcats forward coming in hard. 3:10 left to go. Face off now. McDonald taken down. No call on the play. He's back the other way goes Martin. Martin tries to go through McKenzie, but McKenzie the leg down. And he's going to stop that on the defensive shutdown. The puck will make its way onto Butcher, who will cover it up. Well, folks, start the day just as heartbroken as every other Canadian from last night's game. We won't go into it too hard, but as a fully grown adult, I don't know if I've ever been that crushed. Nothing a little hockey won't fix. Great run by the Jays. I think we can all agree that we stood united. Now is an opportunity back the other way. Stopped by Butcher. McDonald flying up through the ice. Reynolds had to stop up. McDonald dropped it for Holman. Holman cuts back on the delay. Moves it up top. Left side. Shot coming. Tipped in front. Big save, Harvey, as he got across in the splits. And he got just enough of that one. As we approach the 2-minute mark here, Gallant couldn't get the outlet pass from Howard. So McKenzie goes back for it. He'll fire it across from McEachran. McEachran had to retreat back for it. Chipped up the wall. Holman trying to get it free. He will, but now Ferguson picked it up. He'll muscle his way in. He's taken down by McKenzie. Holman stick handling his way through the crowd down there. Now he's going to fire it up the ice. Reynolds chips it through the middle. Nice play. McDonald chips it to himself down the right side. Cuts to the backhand. Oh, what a save, Harvey. And he gets taken out. In the meantime, obviously no intent there, but McDonald just driving that hoop hard, and Harvey once again up to the task. So make another good save here, and he's just going to go for a quick rip, make sure everything all works good. First-year goaltender Jonah Harvey showing off why he was selected as part of this team. Now the Wildcats have been producing some real good goaltenders over the last few years. Aaron Meaden, a name that comes to mind. Shot there through a crowd. So Tatum Innes, the other goaltender here for the Wildcats, and now it's a shot from the point, and they score. Tipped in front, and it looked like Keegan Webb. And just like that, the Bearcats tie it. Maybe the old commentator's jinx there, talking about how good Harvey's been, and that doesn't take away for how good he's been, but usually how it goes. You start to talk about something and the opposite happens, so I'll wear that one this time. So back to center ice we go. A late goal, 93 seconds left to go here in the second. Push to the side. Chipped off the wall and all the way down the ice. Icing going to be waved off there as Lockyer back in plenty of time. Being flushed out from both sides. Somehow comes away with that puck, and now he's going to head north. Chipped off the wall. Trying to close it off. Bearcats find some space. Chipped into an area. 2-on-1 forming now. Webb going to the back post. Looking for the pass out front. There they get it, and Harvey got just a piece of it. As it comes back, for Wadden. Scott fires it back door. Webb had just traveled too far. Back up top, Scott moves it over the right side for Wadden. Wadden picks it up, shot there, slide across save made by Harvey. Now it's going to be chipped all the way out to the point. Opportunity for a shot. McNutt hit a set of shin pads. Now is Robichaud back the other way with Lonergan. Lonergan gets it, right side, shot there, and that one just goes wide as he's dumped by McNutt after the play. Now the Bearcats trying to go back the other way. Fowler, good read as he stepped into that passing lane. Webb chips it free into the zone. Keating picks it up. Lonergan's hurt behind the play, but he will make his way back to the bench, and now we're going to have a whistle. It looks like we're going to have coincidentals maybe. So looks like it's going to be Keating and Webb. The deuces going to the box for a pair of deuces themselves. They're both roughing. The face-off's going to come down inside the Wildcat zone here with 19 seconds, or 18.9, I guess. Depends on how you look at it. Definitely a chance for another shot here. Comes outside the zone, though, as Ferguson. He's going to fire that cross ice, turned over, and now it's going to be lofted down the length of the ice. Back up, Howard. Didn't quite get it outside the zone. Now Miller has to wait for his team to tag up, and that's going to do it here for the second period. A 1-1 tie after 2 complete. So we'll start the third period 5-on-5. We're going to head to the intermission here. We'll get a flood, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes' time. So hang tight. You're watching the Nova Scotia U15 Major Hockey League here on High Button Sports. We'll be back soon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Third period action here from the Dr. Carson and Marion Murray Community Center. I won't lie, folks, I rehearsed that one quite a bit on the way up here. Just hoping to get it right. Beautiful arena here in Spring Hill, Nova Scotia. 1-1 tie. Heading into the final frame. So goals from Rude. Lots of action in front there, my apologies. Keegan Webb was the goal scorer. A little bit of a brain fart there, but we're back. So that puck's going to be pushed out in the neutral zone. Reynolds on the forecheck. He's going to disrupt things long enough to turn the puck over, but now it's going to go back the other way. A little bit of a miscommunication now. Icing waved off. Puck goes down inside the Valley zone. Careful down there with that water. And Rolls, Grady Rolls, who left the game after his first shift. Upper body injury. Not sure of the specifics. We hope nothing but the best for him and hope for him to be back in action here soon. So the upper body injuries, I'm assuming it would be a shoulder, an arm, hopefully not the neck. And hopefully he gets back in action soon, but his team trying to grind out a road win here. Behind the goal now, Rude, the goal scorer here for the Wildcats. He's going to move it up top to the point. Shot coming from a distance, tipped, and that one goes up and into the netting and out of play. 18-25. Left to go now in this third period. To the right side. Lockyer battling down there. He's just going to outstick his opponent and take him right to the ground. Now is McLaughlin. Couldn't hold the line. So he heads back for it now. Clough chips that in deep. Ferguson back. Nice move. Another nice move, excuse me. So he looks for the return pass, but now Frizzell. Cross ice. Clough trying to get a step. Had it poked off his stick. Couldn't get himself turned around. Now Clough on the forecheck. Good active stick. Turned it over. Now he's just going to dump it in here. Harvey out to play it. Couldn't find it. They work go to the zone now. Rude playing with a ton of confidence right now. Nice inside out move. Pokes it free. Gets through McEachran. But he's going to have to battle back for the puck now as Clough. Back defensively to help out. Soft chip off the wall. Frizzell tried to poke it into the middle. Couldn't exit the zone though. Merriweather to his partner. Up ice to the right side. Frizzell went for the check. Now they're going to whack it off the wall. Cross ice. Harvey O'Kelly. Spin around. He partners it back. Good support there from his partner. It's Gallant. Couldn't find it. Miller pokes it for Ripley. Ripley in over the line. He's going to move to the backhand side. Carries it in behind. Good job there. Diebel able just to eliminate his man from the puck. McNutt comes to the point. Shot there. That one goes wide. Now the Wildcats back the other way. Martin tries to fire a cross-ice pass. McNutt down there. He takes a bump from Martin on the forecheck. Great forechecker, Martin. Had his stick lifted there. Almost said had his puck lifted, but basically the same thing. Shot there through a crowd. Butcher. Watch that one sail into the corner. Miller tried to center. Fowler intercepted on the good read, and he's just going to rip it back down inside the Bearcats zone. Miller trying to chip it through the middle. Couldn't get it to go. Now it's back the other way. Lex McKenzie steps up. Hudson Miller now. He's going to fire that cross ice. Nobody home for the Bearcats, but we're going to be in a foot race here. Ripley against Fowler. Fowler across to his partner. Real good support from these Wildcats defense. Always on the anchor there. Now Ferguson turned it over. Wildcats completing a change now is Holman. In the middle of the ice. McDonald shot there. Harvey the save. Rebound. He gets a stick on it, and that one just goes in behind the goal. Just got to get a piece of your gear on it, and Harvey was up to the task there once again. Now Lonergan in a foot race. Tries to cut to the middle. He gets around McDonald the shot there. Butcher made the save. Not sure where the secondary opportunity went, but it gets cleared by his teammate. Diebold back for Ferguson. Ferguson tried to fire a cross-ice pass. Reynolds, perfect position. He leaves it there for McDonald. Shot there by Harvey. The puck's still loose, whacking at it. McDonald gets a second crack. Centered off the feet. Diebold almost went into the back of the net. Reynolds, an opportunity. Turnaround shot. Oh, what a save, Harvey. Desperation mode comes up huge there on the second opportunity. Or could we call it the fourth opportunity? It was a few, but he comes up with a massive save there and keeps this at a 1-1 game. So Ferguson now. He's going to get it in. The Wildcats are going to head for a full sail change, and it's going to be played with a high stick, so the face-off is going to come outside. Or inside, sorry, I was going to say Turo touched the puck. So face off to the left side now. 14:46 left to go. The former home of the Cumberland Junior Blues, who had a very long history here, Spring Hill, and won a bunch of championships as well. So some history here at this arena. The Wildcats thought they held the zone, but it did come out. I did have the opportunity to play here a couple times back in the Junior B days, and the last game I played here, I got knocked out clean cold. So fond memories of the game. That's about 10, 15 years ago now. I found myself in the booth, so a little bit safer up here. It's Merriweather now, through the middle of the ice for Frizzell. Frizzell in over the line. He's not going to waste any time as he fires that one towards the goal. Him and Clough and Stanfield out there for the Bearcats. Rimmed around, that's going to get by everybody and all the way around to the far point. Lockyer there towards the goal. Tipped, Harvey O'Kelly got a piece of it for a moment. Reaching for that puck is Clough. Centers, couldn't get it to his teammate. Into the corner by the Superline fuel sign. Frizzell walks around the top of the circle, tries to fire it across for Lockyer. He gets it there. Merriweather now towards the goal. That was a good look there, trying to get a stick in front maybe. And they fanned on opportunity for Lockyer. McGuire couldn't pick it up. Now Merriweather's going to have a chance. He's going to whack that off the wall. And over the line they go. Stanfield, shot there, saved made by Harvey. 20-15, the shots now in favor of the Bearcats. Testing Harvey here. McGuire. He's going to take that extra step. Now Ferguson down the right side. Butcher way out to challenge. Nice save right into the breadbasket. Centering pass there. Stanfield moved it out towards the blue line. Wildcats were finishing a defensive change, and that's going to allow Frizzell to get that puck in deep, and now he'll head to the bench for a change. Cutback move. Nice move. McKay up for Gallant. Gallant, the one touch for Ferguson. Ferguson's going to fire across ice for Rudo. I think is looking for a change. As he takes a bump there. That one will get in on Butcher. Behind the goal now, McNutt. Outlet pass too far to reach, so it'll head back in through the neutral zone, just inside the Wildcat zone. Chipped off the wall, up for Gallant. Couldn't get it by McNutt as he's able to get that puck back inside the Wildcat zone. Through the middle, Howard tipped, didn't get it in deep. Now as Scott spins around in his own zone, he'll fire it across for McNutt. McNutt holds on, gives it back to Scott as the last option. Now is Sidney Scott in over the line. He's got some recruits with him, tried to go back door there for Miller. Now an opportunity shot there from Webb, looking for his second of the game, couldn't get it to get through. Hit over there on the wall by Miller. Bearcats hold the zone. Rimmed around the far side, good read. McKenzie there in time, holds the line, quick shot, it was blocked. Now Howard chips that off the wall. Howard's going to touch it up there on the offside as we approach the halfway mark of this period. Dumped in here by the Wildcats. They're going to give chase. Comes all the way around to the far side. Ripley, nice touch there for McDonald. McDonald tripped up. Arm goes in the air, and that's going to be a penalty. And they say this in every sport, folks, but speed kills. And McDonald coming through underneath, and that's kind of where you gain that speed on the breakout. You get that outlet pass up to the winger. Centerman comes across from underneath the goal line, or underneath the circle, sorry. And by the time he gets that puck through the middle, he's not heading up ice in a suicide pass situation. Looking back, he picks it up in full speed, and that's what allows him to draw that penalty. Starts in the defensive end and just trying to kind of paint the picture for you of how he was able to pick up that much speed. And like I've said about McDonald, he looks like a completely different player this year. And, you know, at this age, it is a big jump finally in your second year. I do remember going through it myself. Sometimes it can be a massive year for you. But regardless of all that, the Bearcats are going to go onto the power play here, and they're going to win that cleanly as Scott walks through. That shot was blocked. It's McDonald picks it up. He'll move it up for Lockyer. Lockyer into the middle of the ice. Shot there through a crowd. Harvey didn't see it. A bank pass back off the side of the goal. Ferguson there. They tie up in behind the goal. Still with it. Held in at the line. Lockyer pressed by Howard. Over to the left side. Scott spins off. He's going to create some space for himself. Ullman taking a beating in front. Scott walks in, tried to go short side. Harvey the save. Webb scooped it up and tried to go short side, and another save made by Harvey as now the Wildcats were able to clear. Ullman left it there almost unintentionally for McDonald, but it worked out. Now McDonald, he'll drive. Keating will stay on him. Back to the point. Lockyer, cross ice pass for Scott. Looking for that seam pass. He fires it back for Lockyer. Lockyer's going to go over. Thought he was going to go over. Good footwork there. Now as he walks to the middle, save made. Rebound shot there off the post. Holman point blank in front. Looks like Harvey got just enough of it to redirect that one off the post. And now the Wildcats will get it clear. Butcher leaves it there for his D-man. Lockyer steps out from behind his goal. He's got Clough on the left side. Lockyer keeps. He's having a hard time controlling that puck, but he's able to maintain it. Couldn't get the dump in. Turned around. Reynolds in good defensive positioning. Never really in a bad spot, Reynolds. That backdoor pass was banked off the end wall and comes back out front. Reed Reynolds. Turn around. Kept it inside the zone. Miller down low. Close. Going to take it to the hoop there. Tried to go short side. 5 seconds left to go in the man advantage. Reynolds fires across ice. McKenzie walks to the middle. Shot there in front. Harvey the save. Tried to pounce on the rebound. It's going to come all the way out to the blue line and not out. Penalty expired. Back to 5-on-5. McKenzie gets around Lonergan. Shot there. Kicked aside by Harvey. Reynolds, good change, as that'll allow them to get back defensively in plenty of time here as Robichaud pokes at it. Frizzell was in the right spot but got caught drifting there as Ferguson walks in over the line. Slap shot there. You don't see too many of those these days as he walks in and Butcher smothers it up. So a face-off here inside the Bearcats end zone. Cleanly won back. Unable to get a shot through. McLaughlin got a stick on it. Cross ice pass for Stanfield. Pretty household Turo name, no? Stanfield's. Centering pass. So to the reach. Scott, sorry, that's Ripley. Able to rip it back down inside the zone. All the way back around. Cycled in deep, up and off the glass. Not out as Ripley holds a line. Nice move. Cuts back to the middle. Couldn't hang on. McNutt at the offensive blue line. Not going to take any chances. He fires that in deep. All the way around to the left side now. McNutt. Down low. McDonald. Centering pass. Couldn't get it through. Good defensive zone coverage there from the Valley Wildcats. So Bowen McNutt's going to fire that in on goal. Harvey is just going to smother it up here. He'll take a defensive zone face-off. Let his team get a change. Good awareness there from the young netminder. So now we'll have a offensive zone face-off here for the Bearcats. That'll be Scott and Martin on the draw. Martin comes up with a big face-off here defensively. In a 1-1 hockey game, every face-off is crucial. It's Reynolds, first on the puck. I'll say what you want about Reynolds' size. Doesn't affect him one bit. He's first in the corner, first to throw a hit. Love watching that from the young man. I myself was an undersized player growing up, so a little bit of a soft spot for that type of player. Martin able to get a stick on as it gets inside the zone. Webb back to collect. Webb, perfect cross-ice pass. Reynolds looking for that one touch. He's in a foot race here. He's going to get there first. That's going to negate the icing. No. So it'll be an icing to the Bearcats. Thought for sure Reynolds won that race. We're going to head back down to the defensive zone here for the Bearcats, just to the right side of Butcher now. So 7:38 left to go now. Back to the point, rip back down inside the zone. Starting to get close to the next goal wins territory here. Cross-ice pass right on the tape. Keegan Webb. Carried over the line, cuts back to the middle. Didn't take the puck with him, but a shot coming from Scott was fanned on, and it's back the other way, 2-on-2 here for the Wildcats. And over the line, nice move. Another nice move to the backhand there. He moved it in front, and Lonergan couldn't pull the trigger. Next, McKenzie poked it free. Reynolds couldn't find it. Scott, 3-on-2 forming now. Scott with a step down the left side. He's got Reynolds at the back door. Shot off the mask there. Harvey the save. Back for McKenzie. McKenzie, no lane to the net, so he fires it in deep. Reynolds reaching for that puck, but couldn't come away with it. Lonergan. Webb, back defensively. Webb being yelled at to get that in deep, and he will do so. 6.5 left to go now here in the third period. Good chip there now as Ferguson's going to have a step. 2-on-1 with McGuire. Ferguson opens up, keeps hold, save made Butcher. Flashing the leather there late in this game. As Ferguson really uses his reach and that long stride to his advantage. As once he gets by that first defender, he's really able to separate that space. And when you're that big and can move that smooth, good things on the horizon. McGuire off the draw. Weak backhand towards a goal is stopped. Shots have been 20-15 for a better portion of this game. Looked in behind the goal, rimmed all the way around to the far side now. Keating turns, fires it at the net. Traveling up was Clough defensively as he came up from underneath. And one thing that you can see Turo has definitely instilled in their club is to work from underneath in the defensive zone. McGuire now. So as you see, they're all four Bearcats below the ringette line, and that's going to allow them to turn that puck over now as a forced pass from Frizzell trying to find Clough. Good heads up there at the bench not to touch that. So it would have been too many men. Parents wanting too many men, but I don't know if they fully understand you have to play the puck. One of those kind of gray area rules, I would call it, where, yeah, there was about 7 or 8 guys on the ice, but you could have 9 guys on the ice, I think, and not play the puck, and you'd be all right. Now, of course, you can't just do it for the whole shift, but for a split second, as long as it doesn't affect the play. So drop back pass, lofted, up and over everybody. Miller in a foot race here. Blows a tire along the way. It's Harvey O'Kelly around the far side. Through the middle of the ice, Martin moves over to the left side for Rude. Cuts back into the middle, good instincts there. Walks in over the line, cuts back to the left side. Martin drops it into the feet. Shot there, that one goes wide. 4:45 left to go here in the third period. Definitely in next goal win territory now. Down deep, Lockyer in his own zone. Had nothing, so he lofted it up. That one looked like it hit the rafters and came right back down. Now it's almost too many once again for Turo. Holman, nice move, gets around the defender. Cuts back, looking for the trailer. McDonald couldn't get himself opened up. Tries to Work it down low. Now it's out front. Comes all the way out to the high slot. Shot coming there. Save made from Harvey. Flashes the blocker on that one. Now is Gallant's going to go back the way. Jesse Gallant. Back checker on him hard. He's Rude in now. Gaining himself a few more minutes of ice time here based on his performance so far. McDonald turns, fires that in deep. Runned around to the far side. McKenzie activates from the left point, comes back to the point, and now it will exit. McEachern didn't want to take any chance. Now it's in behind. Rude all alone. He's got a man on him. Shot there. Save made. Butcher rebound. He swings at it. It's loose as McKenzie will clean his man out from behind or in front of the net. Good job there. Diebel able to hold the line. He's going to walk back to the middle. Turns. Fires. That was blocked. McDonald is going to be in a foot race here. Drags, fires. Oh, that one fooled everybody. Could kind of hear the gasp down there, and he's just going to finish his man down there in the corner. And he is hurt down there, and he looks like he's going to be back up, but it's back the other way. Ferguson shot. He scores. Good heads up down there. I know the man is hurting, but he saw that his team was heading back the other way, and he quickly got back to his feet because as soon as his team touches the puck with a player on the ice, that's when the whistle goes. So Tommy Ferguson picks up the go-ahead goal here with 3:09 left to go here in this third period. His 5th goal of the season, and his 8th point is a big one here on the road. So 3:09 left to go here in this game. The referee over at the bench wants a discussion as to that hit down there in the corner, and I guess it may have been a second late as the puck was just getting there as McDonald was getting there as well, and hopefully he's okay, but I think the Wildcats are going to be okay with the outcome there as long as they don't lose a player. So the Bearcats will find themselves behind the 8 ball now. Chipped across, far side. Ferguson will head for a change. Scott, good stick check there as he come away with that puck into the middle for Ripley. Ripley shot there, save made by Harvey. None bigger than that in regards to the timing. Through the middle, chipped off the wall. Good play there to get it in deep. Chip back the other way. Scott's going to chip it to himself. He just dodged a hit there. Now he's going to dodge another one. He'll get the return pass. Knocked down, perfectly played by Scott, and now the whistle's going to go. Oh, and it hit the bench. I was going to say it didn't look like high stick to me. Actually waited perfectly for that to come down. So 2:27 left to go now. What a game here. Clough and Martin on the draw, both on their offsides. Picked out of the crowd. Everybody's got a job on the face-off. The Wildcats were proof there as that one's going to be lofted across. Gallant tried to come across and meet it. As it's held in on the clearing attempt. Martin down low. Rude back for Gallant. Gallant back for Rude. Back up to the Gallant. Gallant and Reynolds. They'll tie up. Bearcats looking to get on the breakout here. We'll keep an eye on the goaltender here as we get further into the stages of this game. And over the line, Martin shot there. Butcher the save, and he will hang on. 1:47 left to go in this game. 2-1 lead here for the Wildcats. Ferguson and Rude for the Valley, and Webb for the Bearcats. Puck is down. Worked in behind the goal. Lockyer takes a bump down there. Puck's going to come free. Holman trying to poke it. Chipped off the wall. Just in front of the booth here. Stanfield trying to dig it out of a crowd. Bouncing over the stick of McDonald. It's going to come all the way down to Butcher. Butcher leaves it there for Merriweather. 86 seconds left to go. Chipped off the wall. Held in at the line by the Wildcats. Robichaud tried to center. He takes a bump. In to help out there was Howard. Howard runs into Merriweather down there, but it's Ferguson in behind. He'll pick up that loose puck. Tangles up with McDonald. Poked free on the right side. Holman. Nice move. He's able to get around the defenseman for a minute. McKenzie almost got free, but he had it poked off his stick. Last minute to play here in the third period. Dumped in by the Bearcats. Butcher to the bench for the extra attacker. McLaughlin will eat it up against the wall. Webb trying to dig it out. He's successful in doing so. Now Robichaud. Good job to switch to the forehand. McKenzie couldn't hold it in. Foot race back for it. Ferguson and Reynolds. Reynolds diving. Couldn't get a stick on it. Ferguson all alone. He scores. 6th goal of the season. And there's where that reach comes in handy for Tommy Ferguson as they will take a stranglehold on this one. 3-1 now for the Wildcats. Back to center ice we go. 36.4 seconds left to go on this third period time clock. I'm not sure what the discussion is down there at ice level. So, looks like the goal is going to count. Not sure why it wouldn't have, but regardless, the Wildcats are 36.4 seconds away from coming in and stealing a greasy road dub here from the Turo Bearcats, but she ain't over just yet. As Webb towards a goal, that one just goes wide. They're going to push right here to the end. Back to the point, McNutt had that blocked. Another shot, that was blocked. Quarter of a minute left to go now. Howard. Ferguson looks up at the clock as he works in behind his own net. He's going to stop up. He's going to have to be flushed out here by somebody. It's Keating now. 10 seconds left to go. All the way around. Robichaud, love that. Quick head peek. Now Ferguson, last chance for the Hattie. Shot there, an absolute laser as Butcher got the shoulder on that one. Now Ferguson just barrels through his man. We're going to have a penalty at the end of the play here. So, gritty performance there from the Wildcats. They're going to come away with the victory. They'll improve to 3-2-0-1. The Bearcats will fall to 2-4. That'll conclude our coverage here of this Nova Scotia U15 Major Hockey League. Live on High Button Sports. My name is Matt Dooley. Enjoy the